Today I will explain you the remaining part of chapter 8, economic importance of bacteria and fungi. In last class I explained you about the important economic importance of bacteria and their harmful effects. And today I will explain you what are the economic importance of fungi and their harmful effects. We all know that in our daily life, the use of fungi is very necessary. It is very important because they provide us food and various eating materials and various life-saving drugs, and also at the same time they are very harmful. They are having very harmful effects, causing diseases in plants and animals. So what are their uses? What are their economic importance? I am explaining you. First, they act as a food. Mushroom, edible mushroom, is highly proteinaceous, and they are made by the fungal action. And dried yeast is also the fungal species, and it is also very highly proteinaceous and fat free. So that these two things are having very nutritive value, and they are made by the fungi. Now in medicine, various life-saving drugs are made by the fungi, like antibiotics. We all know that penicillin is the first antibiotic which is searched by the Alexander Fleming, and so in this way fungi are having very economically importance in the field of medicine. And in agriculture, various epiphytic fungi acting on the dead and decaying remaining parts of the plants and animals, so they cycled the various important minerals into the soil. And mycorrhiza is also a symbiotic relationship between the fungi and the root of the vascular plants. So it is also various important relationship for increasing the soil fertility. Now in industry, in bakeries, in breweries for making the wine and beer, in bakeries for making the biscuits and breads, in for the flavoring cheese, and for making the lactic acid, citric acid, oxalic acid, various fungal species are responsible. So these are the some economic importance of the fungi. Now I am explaining you how mushroom is cultivated. Now I am going to explain you how mushroom is cultivated artificially. First, there are several steps involved in the mushroom cultivation. First, the season is selected, because growing of mushroom, for the growing mushroom, the requirement of the temperature is between 16 to 18 degrees centigrade. So in hill areas, mushroom cultivation occurs throughout the year, but in plains it occurs only in winter season. So this is the deciding of this season, means in plains, in winter we can cultivate mushroom very easily. So because they are cultivated between the range of the temperature between 16 to 18 degrees centigrade. Now then, mushroom house should be well ventilated. Second and third step is the compost. Compost is prepared for the cultivation of mushroom, is made up of various ingredients such as wheat straw, wheat or rice bran, ammonium sulfate, and calcium. Now mushroom compost is made up of several ingredients like wheat straw, rice or wheat bran, ammonium sulfate, and calcium ammonium nitrate. These are we mixed with these ingredients in wetted straw, and then filling. we fill the trees, 7 to 8 trees by these compost. And the next step is the spawning. Spawning means sowing of mycelium of mushroom into the compost, that is spread in trays. So this is the step of spawning, means sowing of mycelium of mushroom into the tray. And temperature is maintained for 25 degrees centigrade for 3 days, and after 3 days we can lower the temperature, and it ranges between the 16 to 18 degrees centigrade for 6 to 7 days. And after this, these days, we see the pinhead of mushroom starts growing in the trays, and that is called the casing. And after that, after 10 to 15 days, several pinheads occurs on the trees, and we can harvest that pinheads of the mushroom. This is the way how we can cultivate the mushroom artificially. Now these are some economic importance of the fungi. Now these are some harm. Now I will explain you some harmful effects of fungi. The first is the human disease. It causes various human diseases like high fever, allergies, and skin diseases caused by fungal infection. And now second is the plant diseases. Blight of potato, mildews, powdery mildews of in wheat and maize occurs due to the action of harmful infection of fungi. So these are some harmful effects on plant of fungi. Now food spoilage. Food spoilage is one of the most important harmful effect of fungi. It causes various foodstuffs, eating foodstuffs for the spoiled, so that this is the most important harmful effect of fungi. Now next is the biodeterioration. It is when fungi and bacteria spoil the foodstuff economically. That harmful effect of bacteria and fungi is called biodeterioration. Means when fungi and bacteria spoil foodstuffs economically, they harm economically the foodstuffs. That spoilage, that harmful effect of bacteria and fungi is called biodeterioration. This is all about the harmful effects of fungi. Now I will explain you some preservations, how we can preserve the food. These are some methods for the preservation of food. First is the sterilization. In sterilization, food particles are steamed at 120 to 125 degrees centigrade, so that the bacteria, spores of bacteria are killed, and no growth of bacteria occurs in such particles, which food particles are sterilized at 125 degree centigrade. Now second is the salting. When the food particles like meat, fishes, pickles are mixed with salt, so dehydration occurs, and because of this no growth of bacteria occurs in salting process. Now third is the pasteurization. Louis Pasteur is the scientist who discovered this method. There are two types of pasteurization mentioned by the Louis Pasteur. First is the low temperature method. In low temperature method, the milk is heated up to 145 degree Fahrenheit, means up to 62 degrees centigrade. So, and in high temperature, milk is heated up to 161 degree Fahrenheit. So after heating, all the bacteria which is present in the milk is totally killed, and then the milk is stored or freezed at low temperature. This is the method of pasteurization mentioned by the Louis Pasteur. Now third is the next is the dehydration. In dehydration, some food particles like fish, pickles are dehydrated. Means totally the water content of these particles are dehydrated. So they can so these particles not spoiled because of the no bacterial action occurs in such food particles because of the absence of water. Now sixth one is the using of preservatives. Jams, jellies, pickles are stored by using preservatives like ascorbic acid, sodium benzoate, propionic acid, benzoic acid. These are the preservatives which saves or which stores the food particles like jams, jellies for a long time. So these are the some methods how we can preserve our food. In this way I have completed this chapter. We will meet with next chapter. Till then.